he allowed to do that?
It's an unlicensed boxing match, Tommy. Not a tickling competition. These lads are out to hurt each other. What's happening with those sausages, Charlie?
Come on, these turkeys.
Look at it. How am I supposed to run this thing from that? We're going to need a proper office. I want a new one, Tommy. You're going to buy it for me.
Why me?
Well, you know about caravans.
How's that?
You spent a summer in one, which means you know more than me. And I don't want to have my pants pulled down over the price.
What's wrong with this one?
Oh, nothing, Tommy. It's tip-top. It's just I'm not sure about the colour. Yeah, it's all arranged. You just got to pick it up. There's an address.
It's a campsite.
You've got 10 grand, and it'd be nice to see change. What's happening with them sausages, Charlie?
5 minutes, turkeys.
It was 2 minutes 5 minutes ago.
Well, they ain't pikies, are they? I fucking hate pikies.
You're a sensitive boy, aren't you, Tommy? Fuck me, hold up. What's that?
It's me belt, Turkish.
No, Tommy, there's a gun in your trousers. What is a gun doing in your trousers?
For protection.
Protection from what? The Germans?
Hello and welcome to the Super 70 Podcast, episode 37.2, Kino in Deutschland. If any of you have been following along, then you know that my son Lucas spent the fall semester in Berlin. In between trips to European capitals, taste testing the continent's best beer, and understanding the dangers of the AFD, he also took a German film class that spanned the 20th century. He also saw a few flicks over there, and we compared notes. This is our conversation. How was Berlin?
Fantastic city. Favorite city I've ever lived in. Loved everything about it, really. Yeah.
How was the cinema in Berlin? Well, it's got to be great knowing that you're in one of the finest cities for cinema in the world.
Yeah, it was definitely ever-present. Like, every once in a while, like, either you would see just, like, you know, the chain movie theaters, or you would see, like, a smaller end, like, indie film thing. Like, we went to this place called the Kino one time for this class. It was, like, supposed to be like this movie just showing indie films, and then like outside of it you would discuss it or whatever, and then you know that it's just like a different vibe over there than it is here.
So you took a class,
yeah,
at university in Berlin about German film.
Yeah,
that had to just blow your mind sometimes, huh?
Like, on what level?
Well, I guess because you were so predisposed to it, because you luckily or unluckily had me as a father. None of it kind of took you by surprise, you said, but...
No, yeah, I kind of walked in looking at the cinema course in the film list, just not surprised, really.
Did you ever make it to the Babylon Berlin, up in Rosa Luxemburg Platz?
Is that the one where they were showing Metropolis with the live audience, not a live audience, live orchestra?
Yeah.
No, I never made it there, but our film professor made like a big deal out of us going there. I don't think anyone did. No, yeah, he highly rated it. But, I mean, how do I put this? It's kind of like every little neighborhood there has their own, like, cinema that's been there for, like, since, like, the wall just, like, went down. You know what I mean? Like, there's always those cinemas that are just there to provide a certain experience for these old German films there. So, yeah.
So you lived in what neighborhood?
I lived in Mitte. But I don't know, there's a little contention because, like, it's also
Friedrichshain?
Yeah, that place. I was basically on the border. Apparently, I heard from my friend that was basically like the hipper place to live. And some of my friends lived in Neukölln, and there's just plenty of stories about that place. But that's where the interesting stuff happens. That's where all the cool things to experience are happening, is in actually Neukölln. And we went there for the excursion to, like, the Wolf Kino or whatever.
Yeah,
So
well, the only Kino in Friedrichshain that I remember is that big ass Stalinist structure over on Karl Marxplatz, the Kino over there.
oh
where
yeah,
it just like really looks like just a brutal. Brute
no yeah,
meeting.
the architecture is just something that I'll always remember. When I'm walking down like the street normally, like here, I'll just be like, damn, like this shit sucks. Like there's nothing to like cool to look at. Like walking is a chore. You know, it's just not. It's not the same at all. Yeah.
You have no problem getting to the cinema in Berlin.
No, I lived one stop away from a cinema. I mean, granted, it wasn't like one of those independent ones, but like I did live one stop away.
When you lived one stop away, what does that mean?
On the U-Bahn station. I mean, if you walk 10 minutes in pretty much anywhere in Berlin, you can get to an U-Bahn station. So or the S-Bahn station. I just took an U-Bahn to Alexanderplatz. So that was pretty cool.
So let's run through some of these films that you saw
That I
here.
saw. The course list. I mean, the films on the list was just like was massive, and I was thinking, how the hell are you going to get through all these movies? And I was like, he has to be picking specific ones because like it's only like a 6-week course, and there's no way he's asking us to watch like 5 movies a week. Not that I'd have a problem with it, but I'm pretty like I know that everyone else wouldn't do it. There's already like half the people who didn't even watch the movies because every beginning of the class he was like, does anyone watch the movie? And it was just like a little more than half people like raised their hands or whatever. So like there's some people who didn't even watch the movie you were discussing, which kind of pissed me off because sometimes we just watch the first half of the movie in class, and like when I had already seen it sometimes once or sometimes twice or sometimes 3 times, I'd be sitting through this again like fucking Olympia, which kind of pissed me off.
You weren't a big fan of Olympia to begin with.
No, I was not a fan of Olympia.
Because I made you
No,
sit through it.
we'll get to that eventually, but yeah.
Okay, so breaking this down in a chronological order,
Yeah.
we're going to start with Weimar because Weimar cinema is the birth of what some would say is modern day art house, but that's really people make
expressionist
jokes.
cinema.
It's expressionist cinema, and people make jokes about the Germans.
Oh yeah, and their filming techniques. Yeah.
Yes, but this was the age of Pabst and Lubitsch and Fritz Lang, and these guys were incredible at their craft, and they were in an open race with the Russians, Lindfilm and Mosfilm, and of course Eisenstein was really running a show with that.
with his propaganda films. Yeah,
and Ziga Vertov and all those guys, and then Hollywood was kind of like the runner up, and French cinema even going back to the 1890s was important, but they were booming in the 20s too, but that stuff hasn't really lasted as long as say German cinema or Russian cinema or Hollywood.
I'd have to agree. Yeah.
So in Weimar, you saw the earliest one on this list is the Cabin of Dr. Caligari.
Yes.
Which I'd been telling you about for years, but we never sat down and watched it, and you finally got a chance.
Yeah, it was utterly fantastic. It really did blow me away. The storytelling and how it looked and how it's presented itself in the colors, even though it's a silent film. And there's just a lot of techniques that, especially during the second half and the reveal part of the film, that just like it's like wow, like this is really impressive, and like this is like one of those movies that is so early on that you can see it influence like everything else. And tragically, I mean, Birth of a Nation is like one of those movies too. So, but it was just like really cool to see because like when you watch that movie and you compare it to other ones where you see similar things. In terms of storytelling or presentation, it's just like, oh, that's eventually where they got it from,
Yeah, and supposedly Hitchcock worked on that set.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
So isn't that not confirmed, or is that supposedly?
Yeah, I say supposedly because Hitchcock says I worked on the Cabin of Dr. Caligari, but Hitchcock is kind of like I don't want to seem like he's as big of the liar as Orson Welles, who was an infamous liar. Orson just said shit that was just clearly not true, right?
Yeah, I mean,
I had dinner with Hitler, shit like that.
F for Fake is just kind of like manifesting that.
Well, it's him riffing on his own reputation as a liar and a charlatan, and so, but supposedly he was heavily involved in the art direction.
Mm-hmm.
And
the art direction, okay.
Yeah, literally, yeah. Hitchcock was huge in art direction, and he had a huge hand in costumes.
Yeah.
And I don't think there was a department that he didn't work in when it came to cinema. He worked in all the departments.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, that's just like a fantastic film. So,
And he was fluent in German, but not in French. Which those of you who have read the book Truffaut on Hitchcock will know.
But that was a great silent film. I really enjoyed it. I mean, I haven't seen that many. I've only seen like 5 or 6 of them. But I mean, it's definitely up there. Like it's a good movie.
And the somnambulist plot. You know, the somnambulist, the guy who's asleep who suddenly awakes.
Yeah, I could never pronounce it, but
I can't either.
Yeah, that was just like a unique thing, and like how the story unfolded, I thought was cool.
Siegfried Kracauer is a famous psychologist who, after World War II, wrote this groundbreaking book on cinema. It's called From Caligari to Hitler.
Yes, I read parts of that book.
Yeah, I read parts of it too. It's rather thick because it is more of a psychological breakdown than it is a film book.
Yes, that's what I was getting.
Yeah,
I had to read parts of that, like about 10 to 20 pages of that book for class. So
yeah, and Kracauer, I've read essays that are copied out of it, and I bought the book, and I think the book is behind you on the shelf, and I've never touched it. Like I haven't cracked it open. Yeah, it's that one with the purple lettering. Right
yeah, I see it.
Next to the Film Canon guide, which Dave Anderson gave me for my birthday, and 5 came back, and Film School Confidential. I yet to tear through those. Anyway, so where I was getting at it was Kracauer. One of the things that he said about Caligari was that the somnambulist was sort of a coy way of hiding the inner sleeping German.
No, yeah.
Which awakes later in 1933, which coincides with the huge signs, of course, that are carried through all these parades and marches that say Deutschland erwache, right?
Yeah.
Germany awake, that the Nazis were so hard pushing. Did you guys cover any of that?
In terms of that analysis, no, that wasn't really brought up. It was more of the storytelling and the open-endedness of the ending itself. So he brought that up a lot because like that was like one of the first examples of like a thriller doing that. Like, is he or is he not? Like, you know what I mean? I don't want to spoil it or whatever, but I mean, it is 105 years old. So, I mean, but
how many movies do you see where you're given a subtext of this main character may or may not be the villain? This main character may or may not be guilty of this crime. This main character, it's kind of like Anatomy of the Fall, which we saw just last year, right?
I mean, not like that. I mean, I see what you mean, but not like in that sense. It's kind of like just, is he, fuck. It's just, is he like, oh
Spoilers.
wait, is it his
Spoilers.
fault? Yeah, like is he crazy? Is he in the loony bin the whole time? You know what I mean? It's like the first example of it was all a dream. Oh my god, like it was pretty exciting back then in 1920
it's a real Jacob's Ladder. Yeah. Well, I remember watching it on videotape, and it was thinking like this is actually too wild. Like this is too wild for modern audiences.
Caligari?
Yeah.
Like wild in terms of storytelling, or
because it's mixed with the art direction specifically, with the canted angles. And
no, yeah, that's why I was like locked in. I was just watching this movie. I was like, I hadn't seen another silent film like that. So,
and you've seen a lot of silent films.
I mean,
for your age,
for my age, yeah. Some people didn't even watch the movie.
So the next one is the big one, which is probably the greatest European silent film of all time, which was Metropolis.
I mean, yeah, people can say that,
but
I disagree. But I mean, it's definitely up there, top 3.
So what do you think is?
I think Strike is better.
Strike.
I have thought that since I saw it first. So, but no, Metropolis. Not to take away from Metropolis, it was utterly fantastic. Like everything in science fiction is in that movie. Like absolutely everything. You got like the machine man. You got the workers, and like you got the dystopian future, and you got like the cool little mad scientist in his witch hut doing strange shit. It has like absolutely everything you see in film. Like every theme is just like there. So I just thought that was interesting, and the music was fantastic, and I was utterly just like in the movie. It was
and a
fun to
very
watch.
a very peaceful resolution in terms of the classes can get
No,
together.
So we gotta delegate the duties or whatever between the head and the hands with the heart or whatever. So it's kind of like I watched it. It was like, yo, this is like not like a typical, like if this was made today, it'd be like a revolution movie. It'd be like, yeah, we're killing everyone at the top. Like Fedor's father is like getting murked or whatever. He's getting tossed off the building. But in this, like, they just kind of like, all right, can we just have some rights, please? And then they just go back to work. So it kind of reminded me of The Tunnel a little bit.
Right.
Like, I don't remember his name. I was
1933.
Like Alan or something. Yeah. Alan or something is like, dude, we got to see through this to the end. So no wonder the Austrian painter liked that movie.
Yeah, I love Metropolis.
It was a great movie.
I think I've seen it 3 times.
Every scene was just like it has everything. Like it has like a little revolution in it. It has like strange cults. It has God metaphors with the machines. Like AI in it. It's like for 1927, like, come on, you don't see shit like that till the 70s.
Yeah, it's got a female C-3PO.
No, yeah, Maria.
Yeah.
Machine Maria. Yeah, it's pretty
it's
high.
definitely...
It was fantastic. I loved it.
And I just remember seeing The Fifth Element and thinking Metropolis, it's definitely Metropolis.
Yeah, Fifth Element is a little Metropolis.
And the first time I saw Metropolis, it was on VHS, and it was kind of blurry. And but it still stood out, but it was like a really short version, like it was under 2 hours. And, and then they released it on DVD, and I saw the DVD. But then Kino Lorber, well, it was just Kino Video at the time. They put out like the restored, super long, 200+ minute version,
Jesus,
which was crazy.
Metropolis,
yeah, and I've got that on my shelf.
4 hours or some shit. It's like Napoleon.
Yeah, I have all of Fritz Lang's silent films.
No, the first Napoleon. No.
The first Napoleon. Yeah, the Abel Gance version.
I still got to watch that.
Yeah. We got to write that down. We got to put that on the board. So this is your Weimar.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed that we didn't watch M in the... He didn't even bring it up, like, at all. I was waiting for Peter Lorre to shine, but no. So I was just kind of sitting in the back and, like, a little disappointed. I know it's a 6-week course, but come on.
Yeah. You can do better. All right, so moving on to National Socialist, you were forced to...
Yeah, I was forced to watch these again because, like, the people didn't watch the movies, so he put them on in class. So I ran out of tickets, like, for my punch card or whatever. Like, I don't have an excuse for this anymore. You can't, like, just watch Triumph of the Will 4 times. Now I look like a skinhead. You know what I mean? Like, I can't... You know what I mean? I saw it once with you, once with commentary, once for my other film class, and once for this one. That's 4. So I'm cooked. Like, you can't just explain that. Like, I have to lie.
Yeah, I think I've only seen it 3 times.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's a well-made movie, but I don't need to see it again.
I mean, I saw it on videotape. I was surprised to find it. Because back in the early 90s to mid 90s, that shit was not on videotape. Any National Socialist, I mean, it's not now, right? I mean, the only National Socialist movie that you can, well, I mean, it's all on the Internet Archive now.
Yeah,
there's hundreds of National Socialist movies on the Internet Archive, but back then, Triumph of the Will was the only National Socialist movie that you could find.
Well, I mean, like, it is top 3 greatest propaganda movies ever made. Probably, it's up. I think it's up there with Strike and like Air Force One.
Well, Strike is Air Force One.
Yeah,
get off of my plane.
It's a well-made movie. Like, it's a good piece of propaganda. But like, I couldn't exactly say, hey, could I like leave the class for a bit because I wanted my attendance to count, and I can't be like an asshole and be like, yeah, I've actually seen this movie like multiple times. Like, I can't just say that in front of a class full of people. You know what I mean? So I just had to sit there, like bite my tongue and just like watch it again. And then I had to do the same thing for Olympia, which made me want to like just like go to sleep. I
didn't like Olympia.
I didn't like Olympia in the first place, and I've seen it 3 times.
So what kills me about Olympia is particularly in the second half, which is a Festival of Nations.
Yeah,
it's a Festival of Beauty, Festival of Nations. So in the second half, there's a lot of these competitions are being, since you've seen it, you know.
Yes.
They're being staged and managed by members of the German army.
Yes, at times whenever Riefenstahl decided it wasn't good enough to go in her film, they would just restage parts of the jump or parts of whatever so she can get a better shot.
Yeah, but you can see these guys in uniform. Like, for instance, there's a relay, like a cross-country relay, and a long run and a marathon.
Yeah.
And you see guys like in uniform there, and they've got stopwatches, and they are literally helping the execution of the Olympics.
Yeah.
And they're recording all the times, and they're speaking to all the athletes. And if I mean, it looks completely, it looks
organized.
like everyone is having a good time.
Yeah.
You know, it looks like, because you can see the soldiers.
When they pan to the crowd, they look like they're having the greatest time. They're
well,
partying.
no, I mean, the athletes' interaction with these guys in uniform looks very genuine and very, you know.
Oh, I mean, I'm sure it was, you know, at the time, you know, it was just like, I mean, I'm pretty sure it was like the Italians in that film when they brought him up, they were doing the salute, you know what I mean? So it was different times.
It was for sure.
I mean, yeah.
We're heading right back to those interesting times now. Okay. So those are your two National Socialist films.
Yeah,
and
it was a long week.
And then your BRD films. Now, famously in the 1950s, there's not much that the BRD, for our listeners, the BRD stands for Bundesrepublik Deutschland. That was the official name of the West German government. So the BRD films, you skip the 50s and the 60s, and the first one you wanted, huh?
Oh, sorry, no, never mind. Go ahead.
And the first one you hit into the 1970s was Ali Fears.
No, the one after that was we had
Murderers Among Us. Oh yeah, the first BRD film. Yeah, So tell us, for our listeners, what the Murderers Among Us are about.
So it's about this former war veteran of the Third Reich, and then he's kind of finding his way through the New Germany, and he meets this woman who was previously in a concentration camp, and they kind of learn to deal with the aftermath of the war. And then later on, it's discovered that one of his bosses is responsible for a massacre on Christmas Day, and then this man wants to go out and find his previous his boss, and then he wants to go kill him. So that's kind of the plot of the movie. It's like a little bit of a detective story. That's a bit of a film noir, like you follow this guy investigating where to go, and of course he's like a drunk walking through literally the ruins of Berlin. So it's all the sets they're not sets. I mean, it's like actual locations.
So did you see anything in the footage that looked familiar since you lived in East Berlin?
Other than some of there weren't even landmarks in that. I don't think so. I didn't recognize anything. It was literally all of it was rubble.
Yeah.
So I
read something in Anthony Beevor's book on the Second World War. I read this sentence that said that 60% of all the bombs dropped on Berlin were dropped in the last 7 months.
Yeah.
It was just nuts. So.
No, it looks like that too.
Yeah. And there's this guy, I think I told you, there's this guy on Instagram that's going around Berlin, and he's holding up famous photographs. And then he pulls the photograph away, and one of the photographs was the Praisierplatz just inside the Brandenburg Gate.
Yeah.
And it's the photograph he's holding just has hundreds and hundreds of wounded and dead that are just lying in a Praisierplatz. It's really a very disturbing photo. And then he pulls it away, and it's he's literally standing in the Praisierplatz in the same spot where that photo was taken. So you can see the Brandenburg Gate that's refurbished, and all the bodies, of course, are gone. And there's actually live people, tourists walking around, and the contrast between the two are pretty amazing. I haven't seen Germany Year Zero, which it was shot, I believe, the same year as this one, The Murderers Are Among Us. So I need to check this one out. You skipped the 50s and the 60s.
Yeah, we were supposed to watch The Divided Heaven, I believe.
I've never seen that.
So in this class, we had to give a presentation on a specific movie or a director or an actor or whatever. And then most people chose Goodbye Lenin, so we had to sit through 3 presentations of Goodbye Lenin, which kind of sucked. But like one group picked The Divided Heaven, I believe it was called. It was an East German love story.
Oh.
Yeah, it was actually pretty interesting hearing them describe it. It was like a doctor or whatever, and his girlfriend or fiance or whatever and then her fiance leaves to go to West Berlin, and she goes to follow him to bring him back to East Berlin. Because, like, yeah, this is our
likely story.
I mean, yeah, that's what the movie's about. But I hear it's fantastic. I saw some of the shots that were up, and that they put up and described, because you had to like describe how they tell the story through cinema. Like, if cinema's a language, I want you to explain it to me, is what he said to this group, I felt bad, because like that's kind of like a tough like thing to respond to. You know what I mean? As I hear, it was a good movie.
Were there any stores that had like that had DVDs or Blu-rays at all, and could you find East German movies in any of them?
None that were advertised. There weren't really like movie stores anyway. Not that I went to, because there's no such thing as half price books or whatever.
Right.
So, and everything's in German, so I don't really know.
It's hard to find.
It's hard to find. I mean, I went to this one like international film museum or whatever, but unfortunately it was closed, and the gift shop was the only thing that was open, and they only had like 1,000 copies of Metropolis. You know what I mean?
That's right.
So, I mean, I'm sure they're there.
I remember you and I were in Munich, and we were walking around, and just off the Mariansplatz, we went to the synagogue, the new synagogue, and right across the plaza from that was the Film Institute of Munich.
Oh yeah, also closed.
Which was closed permanently, which really, that was a bummer. That was a huge bummer.
Yeah, that was always tragic to see these film institutions just be closed.
I would have spent an enormous amount of money there.
I know you would.
You
spend an enormous amount of money on books.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
There's lots of stuff there I couldn't find here. I checked.
That is true.
I checked. That's what the internet is for. Okay, so
Ali Fears the Soul.
1971, if I remember.
By Fassbender. Yeah.
One of the Fassbenders first.
I think. Did I watch another Fassbender film before that?
Deutschland im Autumn.
Yes, that was the other one I watched.
Deutschland im Herbst, Germany in Autumn, which you hated.
Yeah, I did. I could barely get through that. So Ali Fears the Soul was definitely a way better film, and I liked it. But I don't think I'd ever watch it again. I liked the story. I liked how it was presented. It was a little off-putting, but that was the point of the message they were getting across. The dialogue, I was always interested in what the dialogue was doing, because there isn't much dialogue, which forces you to pay attention to what's happening to get the plot. I liked a lot of it. There's like a lot of just unanswered questions about it, and I don't think Fassbender's like an absolute genius when it comes to this film, but like how he presents it is definitely with some style.
Well, I think he was just running too fast. Like, if you look at his filmography, it's nuts. It's crazy. He's doing like 2-3 things a year. And he died before he was 40, if I remember correctly. And one of the things he did was, he did the novel by Dobland, Berlin Alexanderplatz. He did a series of that, which is on Criterion, and that one was. It's hard to sit through. Like, it's really, really, really slow. I mean, it's good, but it's slow. But Ali Fears the Soul I liked because Fassbender was a huge fan of Detlef Sierck, who's actually sort of like German-Danish guy who came to the United States. Like, he didn't flee the Nazis, but he got a job in Hollywood, and he changed his name to Douglas Sirk. And then he was known for having these like really high-strung Technicolor melodramas. And one of them was the remake of Imitation of Life in 1959 was probably his most famous one. And, soft colors and all the stuff that you see in Ali Fears, the whole soul, and you can see direct scenes just lifted. Like there's a scene of Ali and I can't remember
her name.
Maria, I think.
No, it wasn't Maria. It was.
But they're in a cafe.
Yeah. In the beginning?
At the end, when she's crying, and we'll take a vacation, we'll come back, and everything will be okay.
Near the end, yeah. That was a well-shot scene.
Yeah, and then that's lifted directly from several films, but most of them by Douglas Sirk.
Yeah. It was a good movie. I don't think I'll ever watch it again.
Yeah. I don't even think that I have it. Like, I've got it burned. That's neither here nor there. So then, another BRD, skipping forward to the 80s, Wings of Desire, which is a Wim Wenders movie.
Yes.
Right? Wim Wenders, who was nominated for an Oscar for the beautiful movie about Japan that came out, not Oscar, it came out this year. That's going to be hot nominated. It's about a janitor who finds the good things in life to focus on.
Yeah.
But Wings of Desire.
Yeah, Wings of Desire. That was a very different movie. It didn't follow any conventional storytelling techniques, which is why my professor picked it. It was just about following angels and, following them and their perception of the average person's life in West Berlin, and, where that leads someone and what an angel sees and what it perceives. I mean, it's just interesting. It was long, though, but the dialogue I felt was very good. It was basically just a bunch of inner monologues, really. But the inner monologues were interesting because it wasn't only just talking about, like, whatever person's struggles or problems or what they're looking forward to or what they're doing. It was just kind of like talking about sometimes the backdrop being Berlin. It was like, oh, when I was over here, oh, when I was in Potsdam, oh, look at what's left of this area. I used to go here as a kid and was an old man, and like now it's just the wall. It was shit like that. It was just like really interesting. I mean, I liked it. I thought Bruno Ganz did a fantastic job. And I thought the story was very well written. It was just a little too long, I thought. It was a little too long, but it was very interesting. And I've never seen a movie like it.
Yeah, it's on Criterion Channel, if I remember correctly. I have not seen that one either, but I understand that Wim Wenders is more whimsical and more soft, whereas, the hammer that is Werner Herzog, for example.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say that movie's whimsical. It's definitely like mystical. I mean, if it's a better
that's good. That's a good description, I think.
Like whimsy is like the sound of music. Like that's whimsical. Or like, the Wizard of Oz. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So running into reunification cinema,
yes.
Which is 1990 plus, when East Germany is amalgamated into West Germany and the BRD starts representing everyone. The big one on here for me for all time, which I watched just last week on Criterion because it's leaving in 30 days, is Lola Rent, or Run Lola Run. I love this film.
I know you do.
Always loved this film.
I know you do.
You and I went to see it in the cinema on the big screen last year.
Yes, we did.
It is 87 minutes of pure kinetic joy.
It's a good movie.
But you're not.
I'm not that big of a fan.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a great movie. I lived 15 minutes from the bridge that she runs on.
Yeah, that's right.
So, it was a good movie. I enjoy it, but like I had already seen it before recently, and then I saw it again in class because nobody watched the damn movie. So instead of talking about the movie, he put on the movie again. So I was just once again kind of sitting there watching it again. I've seen it 4 or 5 times, and I already get the picture. You know what I mean? I don't really want to see it again. I mean, I'll give it a couple of years, you know what I mean? And then I'll see it again. Like, that's my mentality. I don't need to see the same movie, like, over and over again in a short period of time. I mean, it's a great movie, and everyone seemed to enjoy that one the most out of all the films that we watched. And it's very obvious because it's a great film. And I also really like the actor in it, who plays Manny.
Oh, Maurice Blutrow.
Oh, he's fantastic.
He's fantastic. Yeah. No, I love the cut-in scenes of her, of Franco Potente and Maurice Blutrow in bed, and they're discussing why it is that they love each other. The first time I saw that, I was like, can we please speed this up?
Yes, I know.
And then the last time I watched it, which I've seen that movie probably 12 or 15 times. The last time I watched it, I was enraptured and fascinated at those red tinted scenes. I just thought it slowed it down just at the right pace. I think it might be one of those things where it took me 2 decades to get there.
Yeah.
And I don't know why.
Well, I mean, the main thing that I liked about it was just the, what's it called? Like the cut-ins whenever she would bump into somebody, and it'd be an entire, like, their life story or whatever in like 5 seconds or something. That was just interesting. And then I remember there was this dude in my class who was like, yeah, I didn't really like the ending. And then our professor was like, why didn't you like the ending? And normally this is like a different change of pace. Normally there's like sad endings in German cinema. We finally got something that's actually pretty good. And he was like, yeah, I didn't like it because it just felt like nothing happened. Like it was all for nothing. And then and their last look at each other's stuff unresolved. And like, I wanted a more sad ending. I was expecting like a horrible ending. And then everyone was kind of looking at him like, really? It's like, that's your hang up? And he's like, yeah, I mean, there's 3 different lives or whatever. He's just like, I read about He's like, yeah, I read that like in this thing that you was signing, it's like they just willed themselves a happy ending, and I don't vibe with that. And I was sitting there like, what?
I wrote an unbelievably long review for Run Lola Run, which you can find on my Letterboxd.
I don't doubt it.
Or you can go to my website, www.thatdylandavis.com, and go to film reviews, and you can read my review on Run Lola Run and why it's a masterpiece and why the goal or the purpose or the effort of the will of Lola willing something to being different each time is really something profound for a country that's broken. Essentially, Germany is a broken country, and they're still trying to heal. And then fast forward a couple of years into the 2000s.
Well, yeah, downfall.
You saw, that 2004.
Oh, no, so the first one was Goodbye Lenin.
Right.
Yeah.
Which was Daniel Bruhl's one of his first
I like
films.
Daniel Bruhl.
Yeah.
I like him a lot. He held that movie together.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, I liked it a lot, but then the main criticism when we discussed it was like, how do you present nostalgia for people who grew up in such an oppressive country? And that was the main topic of discussion, which I thought the discussion was more interesting than the movie. I was watching. It was kind of like I don't know if you've seen like the first season of Better Call Saul, but it kind of looked like Saul Goodman's like little like mischievous like actions or deeds or whatever to like trick someone into believing something. You know what I mean? Like a swindler or whatever. I mean, I liked the movie, but I didn't like it as much as some other people did, especially after the 3 presentations that all said the exact same thing about the movie. But I did like that one scene of the Coca-Cola banner behind him. That was funny.
Through the window.
There's a lot of interesting shots, and I liked the story a lot. It was just like I didn't think it was overly like fantastic. You know what I mean?
I remember watching it when it came out. I think I saw it the year after it came out because a lot of films in Europe aren't released on DVD until the year later. But I just remember watching it thinking, this is so good, and nobody will ever see it.
It's good. It's a very good movie.
But no one will ever see it.
I mean,
no market here will basically appreciate it, right? Because half this country did not live in a dictatorship. And I think that the nostalgia aspect that you're talking about is going to be lost on.
Nostalgia.
Yeah, that's right. That's what they call it. Yeah. And the danger of it. But I really, and it's interesting to see Bruhl just come back with a vengeance when he shows up in Captain America: Winter Soldier. He just.
How are you relating that?
Well, just because you saw him when he was younger, and there seemed for me particularly, there was like a gap of 15 years where he just was not anywhere. It's not that he wasn't working; he was working in European cinema, right? But he was chosen to be Zemo, and he was that bad Zemo. And be that bad guy, be that political and cultural force in that film. And it was strange saying, oh, that's Daniel Bruhl. I know who he is.
No, wasn't he in Inglourious Bastards? He played one of the...
He was, you're right. Yeah. Which was not that. I guess that was a halfway mark. So you're right, because Bastards was...
09.
Like possibly. Yeah. So maybe I'm wrong on that. But then after that... we can go to Downfall.
Downfall I think was next, or was that The Lives of Others?
Downfall was next. Yeah, 2004.
Yeah. I'd already seen that one, but
we watched it.
Yeah, we watched it. That was a movie that we didn't discuss in class because we had another like project to do, and it was like a podcast or whatever. It was like describing the themes of the story and how it presents them in a podcast format with like in a group setting. It was fine. But I chose it because I was like, I had already seen it, and 2, I thought it was going to be really easy. And then I forgot that it was almost 3 hours. So I felt really bad for my group mates that it slipped my mind that there's an extra 45 minutes after 2 hours. But that was all right because...
But what a great film with Bruno Ganz.
No, yeah, it was once again a good movie, and you know, I'm just looking at this movie, and I'm just like, God damn, it's like fascist, man. Nothing worse in this world.
Right, and they're all. I've got this great book that I haven't read yet that I can't wait to read. It's called Law of the Blood, and it's about how to live, breathe, and think like a Nazi.
Oh yeah, that'll look great on your shelf.
Yeah. And And Downfall is very much in that mode. Downfall is trying to get everybody on the same page. Like, this is how these people were. And to think outside the box was abnormal.
Well,
and you see people do it. You see people in the film think outside the box. Like, this is crazy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, one of the main things that we talked about was that it humanizes Hitler. And one of the main criticisms or the controversies was doing that itself. And I don't really view it like that. I mean, I think it's much more scary if he is an average person like you or I. I think it's more scary than having an evil boogeyman. You know what I mean? He's just he's just a guy,
He's
which makes
us.
it more scary, And especially when you go to where the fear bunker was, I mean, you see what it's become. It's just something like that. It's just a little crazy.
How often have you been to the fear bunker?
I've been 3 or 4 times. But, I mean, it's very close to the Brandenburg Gate. So, I mean, whenever I was showing people around, I was like, yeah, you want to go, piss on his grave or what?
I am proudly in a circle of people, and I don't know how large this pool is, that have actually pissed on Hitler's grave, and I'm quite proud of it. And I encourage everybody to do that.
Yeah, it's a parking lot now. So, I mean, it's probably the best use for it. I mean, other than a dog park.
Right. You can shit on his grave, too.
Oh, yeah.
We pissed on the Berghof, too. That was awesome.
The Berghof?
Yeah, when we went up to Berchtesgaden, Obersalzberg.
Oh, yeah. We did do that.
Saw his
yeah,
house.
Yeah.
That was awesome. No fitting into that day. No more fitting into that day.
And then after that was The Lives of Others?
The Lives of Others. Now, I love The Lives of Others. And for our audience, The Lives of Others is a film about an East German Stasi agent who is spying on a playwright who is trying to write something that's critical of the East German regime.
Yes.
And you didn't dig it.
I mean, I thought it was a well-made movie. I can see why people liked it. It's just I could not, for the life of me, empathize with a Stasi agent. I just couldn't.
That was the big criticism of the film at the time.
Yeah, I'm out.
And at that moment, folks, the mics stopped working. Thanks for hanging out with Luke and I while we sprechen Sie Deutsch in Kino. You can find the Super 70 podcast wherever you find podcasts, and most recently on YouTube. You can find me, my books, and my blog at www.thatdylandavis.com. I'm at thatdylandavis on Threads, Letterbxd, and Blue Sky. You can find Rosalind McPhail and her music on SoundCloud and at rosalindmcphail.com. I'm Dylan Davis, and we'll meet next time, probably in LA.
Now that is just ridiculous, dude. No one's going to cut your dick off.
Thank you, Walter.
Not if I have anything to say about it.
Thank you, Walter. That makes me feel very secure.
Dude.
That makes me feel very warm inside.
Dude.
This whole fucking thing. I could be sitting here with just pee stains on my rug.
Yeah.
But no, man, I gotta,
Fucking
you know.
Germans. Nothing changes. Fucking Nazis.
They were Nazis, dude?
Oh, come on, Donnie. They were threatening castration.
Uh-huh.
Are we going to split hairs here?
No.
Am I wrong?
Well, he didn't.
Man, they
Am
were
I?
nihilists, man.
Huh?
They kept saying they believed in nothing.
Nihilists. Fuck me. I mean, say what you want about the tenets of National Socialism, dude. At least it's an ethos.
Yeah.
And also, let's not forget, dude, that keeping wildlife, an amphibious rodent for, domestic, within the city, that ain't legal either.
What are you, a fucking park ranger now?
No, I'm just trying
Who
to
gives a shit about the fucking marmot?
We are sympathizing here, dude.
Fuck sympathy. I don't need your fucking sympathy, man. I need my fucking Johnson.
What do you need that for, dude?
You have got to buck up, man. You cannot drag this negative energy into the tournament.
Fuck the tournament. Fuck you, Walter.